for the best 1 hour of the week.
Yes, it is. Or more.
Or more, of course. You got to have some advertising campaign, right?
That's true.
You know what the politicians do?
Oh, of course. Yes, they do.
All right. A lot of things have happened in the past week, 10 days. September's been pretty cool for all of us. So we got a lot to rehash and talk about. So, Johnny, why don't you get us started with fantasy baseball / football?
You got it. We're coming down to the end here in fantasy baseball. We got where we at here? We got the Marines pulling away a little bit there with Paul and Kyle are getting tight there, and Bill and you there, Carl, are battling it out for fourth and fifth. You're sneaking up on him a little bit, maybe to get the fourth spot there, and it's getting down to the end. You got 2 weeks left, so we're enjoying that, and it's fun to see. And fantasy football is even a little bit more interesting because that one there we have we get a lot of moving and shaking going on. TJ Augustine's up there at the top. Rory's up there in third spot. The Bachmans have made their presence known this week, and they're up on the board a few times. A lot of guys moved up a lot last week.
Throwing the challenge flag. I don't see my name.
I know. Well, it was a rough week, and you also picked a lot of Eagles, so the Eagles are off to a slower start offensively. So that's got a lot of the players down. But Amon Ross, St. Brown, he had a big week, and there's a few people that had some big weeks last week, and moved them up from into the mid 40s up to the top of the leaderboard there. So this is what happens in the early parts of the season with the fantasy football, and you get some moving it up, and new names are on the leaderboard, which I like to see.
All right.
So yeah, but just remember, Carl, you don't want to be on the leaderboard right now. You want to be on the leaderboard in week 17.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get buried. You know what I mean?
Well, no, but you know, you stay close. I think you were in like the 30 range, so you're not too far off the leaderboard.
Rub it in a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's not. You're right there. I mean, you look at the scores, and 20, 30 points, and you go from one spot to another. So,
all right, whatever you say, Coach John.
That's right. You're good. You're in good shape.
All right.
I think you studied a little bit more for the baseball one than you did for the football, but you're okay.
Is that what you're going with?
That's what I'm going with. But no, you're doing good there. Yeah, like I said, everybody's good, and plus, like we said, all you got to do is stay close for the regular season because it's the playoffs. You also include the playoffs, so that's the big part of the roster once we reconstruct our teams for the playoffs. So. It'll be all good.
All right. We got our resident GM back with us this week. The Reading Fighting Phil season is officially done. You have a few kind words for the fans?
Yes, thank you for a good season, and I'm happy that it's over until next year.
Oh, man. I know you really love your job.
It's fun. It's time to rest. It's your body.
It's time to rest.
Your body needs rest sometimes.
You're like a bear going into hibernation.
Yeah.
I was going to say the exact same thing. And with going into next year, do you guys would have it? You promote anything with like how the Phillies had the All-Star game coming? Does that have anything?
I don't know that yet. We haven't gotten that far. This next couple of weeks is finalization of stuff from this past year, but I'm sure all those things that are happening will come into it at some point in the off season here. I don't know if it's in the next month or two when we start to go over everything, but I don't know. There's certainly a lot of stuff happening in Philadelphia next year. I don't know if some of that stuff crosses over maybe promotionally something with the World Cup. We do I'm making this up. I have no idea. There's not even been a meeting yet, but maybe there's a soccer jersey or a soccer ball giveaway. We've done that in the past. So
Okay.
I'm sure all that stuff will be talked about, but we're not there just yet.
Okay.
Well, before you go into your meetings, I've been working on things. I'm waiting for my copyright to be approved, but I do have a thing for you guys that
All right.
to get a logo for a logo baseball for the Baseball Hall of Fame, the Red and Baseball Hall of Fame.
I feel like we have had one, and then it kind of gets kicked.
A baseball?
On a baseball.
Like a physical baseball, like with that logo. Like instead of like the World Series logo, it's the Reading Baseball.
I understand. Well, we got to make sure we have a proper Hall of Fame logo in general, because it seems like from year to year that kind of gets forgotten. The year that
I got a classic one. I'm waiting for the copyright to come back, but I do have.
The year we did the Jimmy Rollins one, Ryan made a really nice one, and I'm not sure that I've seen it since.
Is that the one on the T-shirt?
Yeah.
Isn't there something on the Ryan Howard T-shirt too?
Possibly. I don't know if it's the same thing.
Okay.
This year there definitely wasn't.
No.
So
no.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, but this way you get a baseball, because then all us baseball autograph likers would have something to get autographed.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let him know. I'm sure he'll do it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll jump right on that.
I'll jump right on it. I know, but I mean,
it's his off season too, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, theoretically, it's everyone's off season, as if there's no baseball, but there's not really much of a off season. There's a lot of stuff going on. So he's been doing stuff every single day since it stopped. So
what do you do with your interns? You just hand them a pretzel and say thank you?
Yeah,
pretzel.
I mean,
why is it a pretzel?
Well, isn't that what you guys just did? Pretzels the other day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
Prost.
they're done. I mean, some of them are there. If their internship was helping out with the event center, that's not over, because we still have we've had events all week there,
right,
and all weekend.
But most of them went back like mid-August when their school started. Some of them left before the season was even over.
Gotcha.
We had there's probably 5 to 7 that were full time. That yesterday probably would have been their last day, or Monday might have been their last day.
Okay.
And there's a few that do specifically operation stuff, and they probably have a little bit longer until we get through the fall events.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you'll probably be hanging with us on most Wednesday nights? I can pencil you in?
Yeah, most, I would say, theoretically, yeah.
Your season's coming up. Basketball season's coming up. So
yeah, I keep forgetting about that. Yeah. I feel like the Sixers have been forgetting about that too, because I haven't heard a thing.
Pretty much.
I sent Lauren the logo. She can get a preview. You can see it.
All right, let me see.
You guys are a little closer to the computer, so you could show it if you want it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There you go. See that?
See what? I didn't see anything.
Am I showing it, Johnny?
You can if you want. Sure. Look at that logo. Look at that.
I feel like we have one. What is the one from the
There
shirt?
was one on the sleeve. It was like a round one that was on the sleeve.
It was like 2 bats.
Something like that.
Yeah,
maybe like a star or 2.
We got to find that, but no, I think it should be a consistent logo. You're right about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it got the first year when it was established and everything on it.
Well, Reading Fighting Phils, baseball town.
Yeah.
We as in Carl's Cards had another great year out there. So you tried burying us, but we made our way over into the plaza the past couple of Fridays, and we shined. But you tried burying us next to,
the popcorn and the cotton candy.
Yeah, the what were those ice cream pellets
Listen,
called?
the first time I moved, I heard, it's windy over here. Well, I don't know what the hell you want. But where do you want to be?
Damn.
I want the best of both worlds.
Okay,
I
well,
want to be coveted. I want that #1 sponsorship.
yeah, I got it. I got a lot to balance. There's a lot of things going on. I got to do my best.
Well,
How about right behind like home plate?
That's where you would prefer.
I think my table would get in the way.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. We don't hit too well, so it might be okay.
Might be an issue there. But anyway, Carl's Cards / Lauren / Sarah / John / me / I don't know who all helped us out. We had a fun year. How many weeks were we there, Lauren? 13?
12, I think.
We had 12 nights there.
12?
Yeah.
Okay, I was one
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Good season. I think it may have been our best. Lauren could probably zero in more on that, but we had a lot of fun. I know I did this past Friday with the kids from the Glenmore Little League. That was pretty cool having some of them floating around. So, yeah, good season.
Now, were they up there to be honored, or they just happened to be there for the game?
They were supposed to be honored, but then, if I recall correctly, only a few of them actually showed up.
There was only 4 total that showed up, and the coach.
There was 4 total, but I think they were all invited to be honored. So maybe because it's tough the last week or two, because once kids go back to school, it's not the same as it is in the summertime. So they were either, I imagine, are involved in other sports or playing fall ball or whatever. So there were only a few that were there, but it was nice to have them.
And I feel like 2 or 3 days before we saw them, Dad, weren't they at the Phillies too?
Yes, they were.
They have a photo with Kyle Schwarber.
Yep, they were.
Yeah.
Yep, they were.
I think they would have liked the cards from Carl's Cards better than being with Schwarber, but
I don't know. I'd have rather been with Schwarber. Sorry. But yeah, no, you guys had a great year. I mean, not record wise, but Aiden Miller, he's going to be a future star of the Phillies. He moved up the ladder. Justin Crawford moved up, right? So you had a couple of big names, and I think you got a couple more that are on the horizon for next year. So
I hope they have. I really hope they get Felix Reyes a chance. As soon as they let him play in Lehigh Valley, I saw he had a nice home run. All he does is produce, but he's never been a big prospect. So I hope they give him an actual chance, or let him go somewhere where he can be a everyday player, because he's really good.
Yeah. It's baseball town. It's a lot of fun. Games are what's it? Is it still $8? General price of a ticket? $8?
Maybe 10. I don't know, but not that far off.
Okay.
Yeah, about $10, I would say.
Okay. Well, hey, great having you back. Hopefully you can stay awake for the next hour.
Sure.
Moving right along, because we got a lot to cover. And part of this is on you as well, because we've had 3 signings at the store since September 6th with your guy Al Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to take that portion of the show, talking about Al a little bit, because you guys kind of were shaking and baking with him all weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I always try to infiltrate something when I can. So I have a good relationship with a guy at the Pirates, and gave him a list of names, and the name he gave me back, he definitely said would be Al that would want to do it. And it just so happens that this Al 2 weeks prior went into the Pirates Hall of Fame, which is nice and probably overdue, but they haven't had a Hall of Fame, other than the last couple of years. So, good timing on that. And he was great. He flew into Philadelphia. We picked him up. He stayed locally, and we took him out to dinner a couple nights, and he was just a very nice man. Not a lot of guys. I mean, you got to think of this world. I mean, the gentleman flew from Columbus, Ohio, other than hearing good stuff from the guy at the Pirates, doesn't know who we are. And we're essentially taking care of him for the weekend. And I'm imagining in that world, people have been burned or not taken care of properly. And he had nothing but, very pleasant things to say after it was all over with. So nothing but a great time with him. He's super nice. even, we were talking the other day, there was a card that got missed and he had said, just send it to me in the mail. He's just a very nice guy. I wish more people were like that.
Yep.
A lot of times it happens to be those old guys. And I don't know if, as we all get older, I don't know if the younger guys are going to would do things like that, fly, 8 hours one way, 8 hours the other way, just because someone recommended it. I don't know that the world works like that anymore, but I'm happy that the old guys do that, and I hope they would continue.
Yeah, no, it was a good one. He was very he was great. He was great to work with. He was great in the store. He was great to hang with. So yeah, that worked out. That worked out really well, and we're building a nice little Pirates relationship with. This is probably our fifth or sixth Pirate that we've had.
I think that would have been the fifth. Yeah, obviously it's good anytime there was a crossover where they played a little bit in Philadelphia, but I don't think John Candelaria ever played in Philadelphia, and he did okay too. I mean, might not as big as the other ones, but yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of people on this side of the state that either worked over there or went to school or vice versa, and we probably got that same thing for other places too. I mean, we're not far from Baltimore, and we've had guys from the Yankees, like and the Mets, like Doc Gooden. So, yeah, I think those guys do well just because they're not used to being seen here all the time.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, it was good. It really was. It was good, and we followed that up with the Bull, Greg Luzinski, the following Saturday at the store, where we absolutely crushed that. Just another good Saturday at the store, and everybody knows the Bull from, his barbecue down at the bank. But we still managed to do. Look at this, Richie Hebner in the future. Is somebody kind of like squirming around looking for information?
He's tapping our phones, I think.
What's going on here?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a possibility for sure.
But no, the Bull. No secrets here. We do a lot of promoting, and we do a lot of advertising, and we have different outlets for getting people to do mail order. And I don't know how many cards were mailed in for the Bull, along with Al Oliver. We had a lot of cards. So it just. I mean, I know it because I'm in the business, but a lot of people are into getting autographed cards. You know what I mean?
Relatively new.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I was younger, I always was told. Now, I guess back in those days, maybe we didn't know as much, but they also said, "Hey, don't get cards autographed; it'll devalue the card."
Yeah. That was the language back in the day, but it just seems like it's gone, full circle, and now we got guys bringing encapsulated graded cards in and getting them signed on the plastic. So, it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's good. It's fun. It's also doesn't take up a lot of space. You can build a binder, or you could put them, you can build a shelf on your wall, and they don't take up a lot of space.
Now, are you surprised by how many people were there for Luzinski, because he's been at the store a bunch and he's been around, or is it always one of those Philadelphia guys that'll draw you?
It's one of those guys, yes, and we haven't had him for a while. John has one of his jerseys on display there at the store. We hadn't done jerseys before, so this was a good opportunity to do jerseys because. We use them as part of our charity events and stuff, but it came out absolutely gorgeous. I couldn't tell the first autograph from the 30th autograph. Could you, John?
No, he was great, and all the way to the 200th one. I mean, it was, it was great, and he's always, special. Like you said, just, he's like Bernie Perrant. He's always, people come all the time. No matter how many times they get them at the Bulls barbecue, type of thing, or they get autographs there. But like you were saying, you can't bring in seats and stadium seats and bats and different things that people want to get signed, and big posters. We had a couple of big, 24 by 36 posters that were that back in the 70s that people wanted to get signed, and you can't bring that stuff into the stadium. And and if you can, you don't want to bring it in because you don't want it to get ruined.
Sure.
Type of thing. And he's always great. He's always great with everybody, and just wish he gets his hip a little bit better for him and get those muscles strengthened up for him.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of pain from that, but
he's had multiple knee and hip operations.
Yeah,
but he's still getting around.
Oh yeah,
he's still getting around. So kudos to the Bull. We appreciate him giving us time on Saturday before he had to go fight traffic down in South Philly. Because what game was it? Temple and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of traffic in the region. So, but no, great signing. Back to back, Major League Baseball players that have really made a presence. Al won in 71, the Bull won in 1980. So, a lot of fun there. And then last night, we brought the rookie in, Jahad Campbell, the Eagles' #1 draft pick, and couldn't ask for a nicer kid. Just an absolute good kid. Good kid. I really took notice of the fact that he had his dad with him, along with his agent. Not players today. Not many bring their parents in. I think the last parent we may have had there was Jeremy Macklin. Had both of his parents there the night of the signing.
Are we talking just football or in general?
In general.
Jalen Brunson's dad was with him, right?
Yeah, good point. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
And Derek Hall brought his uncle or grandfather with him.
Grandfather. Yep.
But like I said, it doesn't happen that often. But he was great. Local kid. There was a lot of people from his area that made it over here yesterday and last night, and he had time for everybody, and it was great. Great to see, and the more you see, we have the Eagles here at the store, you can just see the quality of the player, the people that are on the team, and they're not, they're not me people, and they're first class.
Yep. And with all that, we've got a hell of an October lineup that we're working. I know I'm pretty jacked up. Allen Iverson, Dr. J,
Fred Johnson, Super Bowl champs.
Let's not get out of September, because next Wednesday we've got Hall of Fame coach Dick Vermeil coming out to Buffalo Wild Wings. So kudos to all of us. We work hard to bring in the best of the best. Looking forward to next Wednesday night with Coach.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
I know we've had him in the store for an autograph signing, but that's more business, as far as getting autographs. I can't wait to hear some of the stories. We'll roll out of September with a pretty solid month and into October. And what was the last one, John? Fred
Johnson.
Fred Johnson, right? Yep. The offensive lineman that won a Super Bowl last year with the Birds. So, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. A lot of work. I know we got some tired people on the page tonight. A lot of work goes into it, and you got to be prepared. Just simple little thing. I don't know if anybody picked up on the kid that was in a wheelchair. And I had seen the other guy that was with him before, but I don't ever remember seeing the kid in the wheelchair. But I just think it was so cool that Jahad went over to him right away and did whatever he needed to do. And, they only bought a photo op, but I made sure the kid got the photo signed and, made his experience, the best we could. So, that was pretty cool. So I knew we were in for a good night when we got started with that. So
yeah, I think we're going to see him a little bit more often because he had called for the which one of the other signings prior to that, and it ended up raining that day, so he wasn't able to make it out because he wasn't able to get up the steps. And
right.
So
yeah, the one kid said I can pick him up and carry him in.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't. Yeah, I believe you. But we might be able to pull this off, outside while there's still daylight, and
right.
It worked out real well. So, yeah, a lot of fun last night, and we got a little bit of time to rest up till next Wednesday night.
That's right.
When we hit Buffalo Wild Wings with Coach Dick Vermeil, and I know a lot of people. I don't know if you guys had anybody say anything to you, but I had a bunch mention to me about them coming out. So.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be a packed house, so should be a lot of fun. Let's move on. We haven't even touched on our real Philly sports teams, and in the course of the first two Eagles games, we're already 2-0, soon to be 3-0, because I already got them beating the Rams on Sunday.
Okay. Like that.
Yeah. Positivity through and through. What do you guys think? Anybody?
I agree with you. As far as they should win. It's nice that the Rams have to travel east and play in a 1:00 game, which is what 10:00 game out there. Basically their time. So that is always a nice thing to have because we get that going onto the West Coast, and you have to play, at a different time.
It's a big thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially, the East Coast flying to the West Coast because they usually fly the day before.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then you lose those 3 hours going out there. And
I found it interesting. I don't know if it was today's press conference or yesterday. I kind of lost track of the last 24 hours. But Vic Fangio called out Jalen Carter. And I expect a big game out of Jalen Carter on Sunday.
Yeah.
When the defensive coordinator goes out of his way to make one of his players his spotlight, I think he may have sat him down and had a little conversation.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was hampered coming out of the preseason where with the shoulder injury to start off, so he didn't get as much reps during the preseason, and then obviously the games they don't play, and then
yep.
And then he didn't even last one play in the first game with the spitting incident. But
you're talking type
of thing,
yep.
And
yep.
I think Fangio's just that way. Like that's why we like him. He's from our generation. He's
old school.
He's old school. He tells it the way it is, and he's not pampering these guys today. And I think the guys do like it themselves as well, even though some of them may not like they also want to like to be coddled.
Yep.
But I think it's like the yin and yang from Sirianni to him. It's like the bad cop, good cop, type of thing between the two of them. And Sirianni likes to love them and all the guys and give them the love, and Fangio just says here's how it is, get better, and the guys perform for him.
Yep.
Like
Lauren, you have any thoughts on Sunday's game?
This coming Sunday's game?
Yeah.
Not particularly. I would say that I don't know, the last, their first two games of the season haven't really done a whole lot for me. I don't really feel like the passion and excitement has been there. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that's feeling that way. It felt a little lackluster the first two games. This past Sunday, we were fortunate enough to watch the game from the Fightins, their big Jumbotron TV in the outfield. So that took it to a different level for me to kind of watch it. You don't really get to zone in too well. So I don't feel like I was paying attention as closely to that game as I would have if I was at home. But I don't know. I haven't really felt like that fire just yet. I don't know how you guys feel, but it just doesn't seem like everything's clicking on all cylinders yet.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100% agree with you. Yeah.
So I guess I'm looking forward to that kind of picking up. It feeling a little bit more, like the guys are going out there and really competing. I mean, a win's a win at the end of the day, but that game on Sunday could have very well went a different direction pretty quickly, and you could be 1-1 right now. So, just looking for a little more excitement.
Yeah, and then realistically, both of the games could have gone either way.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
We could be 0-2, but
right.
like you said, at the end of the day, we're 2-0, and that's all that matters at this point of the season. You keep stacking up the wins and going from there, and especially when they're using this as preseason for them. But unfortunately, that's the new NFL, and we got to kind of understand that and realize that and say, okay, that's how you're going to do it, and as long as it keeps ending up in a playoff run and like go a deep run like we did last year, I mean, it's okay. But
yeah, absolutely. Dad, are you shocked that we are also 2-0 on people correctly guessing the score on the Carl's Cards page?
No, because the prizes are fire.
Right.
The prizes are fire. The people are fired up. The people love to make their name on the board. I mean, what do we have? What do we have this past Sunday? We had 4 winners, right?
We did. Yep, we did have 4 winners. About 700 comments.
Yep.
Not almost 1,000 the week before.
Yeah, the week before, definitely you saw the people just excited for the season to start back up.
Yep.
So I think that's why you saw a few more. But the first week, we definitely had the 1 winner, but I don't know if we had a person did guess that same exact score, but they had the Cowboys winning instead of the Eagles.
Shame on them.
Well, there was 2. We did have 2 for.
Okay, so there was another person with the same score. So yeah, I mean, when you have that many comments, it doesn't surprise me, especially because they haven't been oddball scores. Right. 24-20 isn't really a weird football score. But yeah, I mean, in the past we've gone, a few weeks without any winners. So it's exciting that we've had 2. They've both been in to get their prizes. They're local people, so that's cool. But yeah, that's always exciting. Yeah. Once I post that contest, I pretty much have to put my phone in a drawer and come back a few hours later because it just goes off constantly as people are guessing. But I like to keep an eye on it because those posts bring those robot comments out, and I'd like to try to get ahead of those. But
it's fun to watch fun. And we're gonna, as long as it stays fun, and we stay out of trouble with Facebook and anybody that wants to create problems for us.
The Eagles keep winning. You got to keep doing it.
Oh, no doubt. I'm already working on next week's prize. So we gotta, we'll get that out early and get everybody fired up. You're right, Joe Stinger. They're not firing in all cylinders yet.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to get at. It just doesn't. It feels like the fans are more energetic than the team is right now.
Well, the first game at home, everybody was all pumped up about the banner being dropped, the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? And then, you had the Carter incident with Dak, you know what I mean? And
you did barely win that game. You know what I mean? It wasn't. You didn't blow them out like I think everybody had hoped. You always hope you blow the Cowboys out, which I get. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to them getting back on their feet and, playing and destroying teams, not, hearing about the tush push and the calls and, all that, nonsense that goes along with it.
I like Jordan Mailata's comment. I heard it tonight on the news that he's called out all the other teams. Stop bitch moaning and complaining about it. Let's see your version of the tush push.
Sure.
So
I really don't recall a play being as controversial as that one is. I don't understand why it's such an issue. It's a legal play. You're allowed to do it. We do it well. So sorry.
They don't want it to be a legal play. They think it's not exciting. That's what it comes down to. and they think someone's going to get hurt even though they haven't. So
well, it's normally 1 yard, so there's not many 1 yard plays that are going to be that exciting.
they don't like they in their world they would like no run ever probably. They'd like throwing every time, but
I find it interesting, and John, you might have a comment to follow up on this. It's just not a goal line play anymore.
Oh no, it's
You know
not.
what I mean?
No, it's not. And this will be part of my rant, so I'll go off on a little bit of my rant right now. But no, the players and coaches and teams that are complaining about it, the media that's complaining about it, grow up and put your big boy pants on and stop it.
Right.
It's is it an ugly play? Yes. Is it football? Okay, yeah, it is. But Tom Brady did this quarterback sneak for years.
Exactly. And
so it doesn't matter. Anybody can do it. The problem is the Eagles are doing it differently and slightly different. And they're successful at it.
Yep.
You got Chris Jones jumped on Jalen Hurts' back on Sunday and because he had no legs under him, Jalen Hurts carried him into the end zone. So it's not why is that bad? It's just they just got to stop with it. And I think the only problem I do see about it coming up now is you see more and more that the referees they're talking about it during the game and stuff. Pereira was talking about it that he hates this play, and who's the referee that does the when they do the replays and stuff, and the only thing I can think of is possibly that they're going to see because they keep showing more and more slow motion plays of it where the offensive linemen, both of the guards are possibly offsides, but at like at super slow motion that they look like they might be offsides. Do the referees say, "Oh, well, they're offsides," and then they start calling penalties,
Right.
on it, going forward, and then maybe that a way to try to get the Eagles to stop doing it. So yeah, it's just it's bad. It's just
Okay. All right. Who's checking in here? Matthew Peterson. Stop it, or better yet, do it yourself. The Ravens have also had modest success with it, so stupid to try to ban it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I want to go back to
do you think I'd be speaking the same way if it was another team? It's easy to say, oh, well, we're Eagles fans, so of course we don't want it banned. Right. But if it's a play that's successful for a team, then so be it.
Right.
They'll still get someone hurt, but I haven't seen anyone get hurt.
But
nobody's getting hurt. Nobody's getting hurt. I mean, the only thing I could see them doing, where it's like, back in the day, it was a non-legal play because people would push from behind. So that would be the only thing I could see that they can possibly try to ban. As far as like, hey, Saquon Barkley can't beat a tush push. Like as he said on Saturday Night Live or whatever it was, that he had the easiest job just pushing the tush. But that might be one thing that you might see banned. But just like Jalen Hurts did, he did it himself on Sunday, with Chris Jones on his back. He rode him into the end zone.
Who was the first Eagles quarterback? Was it Carson Wentz?
To do the tush push?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It was with Jalen Hurts.
It was all Jalen.
It was all Jalen, and it's because Jalen's special. He has he can squat as much as he can, where other quarterbacks don't. And he's got the lower body. I think part of it they said too is he's a shorter quarterback compared to some of the other guys, so he gets a little bit lower as well. And then also with the leg drive that he has to be able to do it, where like Josh Allen's just as big, but he doesn't do it because he's a taller guy. Where guys can get to him a little bit easier.
Well, he don't get up under center very much either.
Well, that's I mean? Right. Well, that's part of it as well, and it's just a different style, that they do. Yep. And even though he's probably stronger than Jalen, but he just doesn't have the leg strength that Jalen does. So
all right.
So yeah, just stop with it. Just it is what it is. I mean, again, it's a 1 yard play. Like at the end of the day, yeah, you're getting first downs to sustain the drives, but again, it's a 1 yard play.
Yep. All right. So let's kind of keep the ball rolling. In Flyers news, the boys are in camp. They played a weekend series up in Lehigh Valley. So it's good to see the boys back on the ice. In the bad news department, I guess I was hoping that Carter Hart wanted to come back to Philadelphia, but he told the Flyers thanks, but no thanks. He needed a fresh start. So
I don't blame him for that.
No. Personal standpoint, I'd have loved to have seen him come back because I think, he would have fit in real nice. But I understand his situation, and I hope wherever he settles, as long as it's not Pittsburgh, I'll be happy. If it's Pittsburgh, I'm going to be pissed off. So, but in basketball news, I got nothing. I just read rumors that Ben Simmons is coming back to the Sixers. Who even dreams up those bad rumurs?
Yeah. I don't know. They wouldn't be that stupid.
That would never.
I hope not. I hope not. Anyway,
this season, at least last season, there was even though the guys were 100 and they made some headlines, there hasn't been.
Well, now they're 101.
There's been no blip. They've done nothing. I don't know how they sell a ticket. Honestly, there's 0% chance I would purchase a ticket to that team. You're not even trying.
I thought the same thing, but then they went ahead and doing those throwback nights, kind of like you guys did with the old Sixers logo, like the logo I grew up with.
Yeah, the difference is we have $10 tickets.
I understand that. I mean, they'll probably be close to $10 this year, but they're going to wear those uniforms for a handful of games.
The black ones.
The black with the Sixers script written across the front. Yep. They're going to wear those uniforms for probably I think it was 10 games this season.
We have those unis for Allen Iverson signing.
Yeah.
So that would be cool.
So does Joel Embiid wear that jersey ever this year?
Well, not if it's a back-to-back. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that. I like that, and I mean, I guess if that's what I'm getting excited for, that's.
I love your excitement, but I don't think anyone cares. And
I was just going to say that's just goes to show how sad it is that you got to get excited about the jerseys that they're wearing.
Well, we used to have them hardship years here in Philly when the Phillies stunk. You know what I mean?
Oh, well,
those bleak years where the team was stripped down and you had you didn't have any superstar players. You know what I mean? And we're rebuilding.
The difference in baseball is that there's always some type of hope because there's a minor league. In basketball, I don't know what's going on with the Sixers. I mean, I don't clearly follow them like some of the other sports, but I've heard nothing at all off season. And how are you expecting anyone to want to go to those games? I don't get it. What are they doing? How do these guys in charge? We talked about this at the end of last year. How do they still have jobs? Why is no one asking for their firing? Is it because basketball is not the top sport in town? If we were in New York, they'd be asking for those firings on a daily basis. I don't know what the Sixers are doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that they know what they're doing, and it's just sad. They put a thing out there earlier this week that Joel Embiid was practicing on the court, and okay, great. There's nobody playing against them, and you haven't seen anything since then. So, it's just,
if he comes in, John, out of shape, I think that'll be the only game I watch. I mean, he's got to be in shape and he's got to look ready to go and he's got to be intense because they've done nothing and he didn't play at all last year. He's got to be in peak health, ready to go.
Yeah, but there's no chance of that happening because knee issues and. It's just even if you get one, you might get one good game out of him, and then it's then he's out for a week.
Then unload. You know what? Then unload him for anything you can get. and be done and move on. Because at least it looks like you're trying.
And that's the thing too. Like as you were saying, it was one thing with the Phillies being bleak, but they didn't have the superstar talent, if you want to call it. Even though Embiid is a superstar, but he's not doing it on the court, and having all this payroll that you have no chance, of getting better.
Well, this isn't the first time. I mean, there's been other years with the Sixers, when they had to unload Barkley and, going back to those lean years. But let's put the Sixers on the shelf for the time being, because we got Phillies baseball to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
The first place Phillies, National League champs, back-to-back years, 12 and a half games up on the Mets. What was it, just 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
We were like, ooh, we just got swept out by the Mets. Now what?
Well, the first game of the Eagles on Thursday night, the magic number was 17, and then for the second game for the Eagles, it was down to 3.
Yep, crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
And the Mets have just totally gone in the tank. I mean, it's crazy. And the Phillies have been hot.
Phillies have been red hot. Yep.
It was two nice wins in LA this week so far, and
yep.
It was nice to see, and
I watched bits and pieces of both games because I'd have it on, I'd take a snooze, I'd wake up and watch a couple of innings, take another snooze. But last night's game was interesting with Ohtani.
Yes.
With the first 5 innings, and he's a hell of a ball player. Man, he's a hell of a ball player. I mean,
5 no-hit innings.
He's just, to see him, run off the field to get ready because he was the next man up at bat.
Yeah.
Just crazy to see, all that going on, and he's able to keep it all together. You know?
And he wasn't even leading off because they said, the first inning he ran off right, and he didn't even go off the field. He stayed on the field in the batter's box.
Yep.
Got his stuff dressed. He dropped his glove. The bat boy took it back in, and it's like it's crazy. He just finishes out the inning and gets up the bat and gets a hit.
Yep.
On top of it.
Lauren, what'd you think of the celebration by our Phillies?
So it's interesting you'd ask me that because I felt like it was a lot. I felt like it was quite the celebration. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you almost thought they won the World Series. And I don't remember it quite to that capacity in years past. I feel like Bryce Harper was a little bit more reserved. Kyle Schwarber was a little bit more reserved. I kind of remember even like John Middleton was in there, with a funnel of beer. I mean, it seemed a little different this year. And I don't know if they're just trying to channel the excitement to carry them, to the World Series. And that's the whole point. But I don't know. What did you guys think? I just felt like it was a lot from what I had seen before.
I love the disco lights.
Yeah. Okay. So I should say, don't get me wrong. I loved it. I thought there was some incredible quotes that came out of their interviews. The one about Kyle Schwarber calling us crazy animals, getting back to the crazy animals at the bank. That's 100% going to be on a t-shirt. The one where Topper asks JT how many more games, because that's from previous years.
Yep.
Right.
He would say, after they won different conferences and stuff like that, how many more games. And JT would normally say 8, 10, whatever it was supposed to be. But when he says whatever the hell it takes, Topper, and the whole locker room goes nuts, that'll 100% be on a t-shirt. I don't know. The guys just seemed way more jazzed this year than I feel like they have in the past over sort of the first thing that we kind of all knew they were going to get. I mean, did anybody think that they weren't going to be the NL East champs? Did we really think that, that wasn't going to happen?
No, it's true. I think they've celebrated like that a little bit in the past. Like you said, Bryce Harper was. I noticed that we talked about it a little bit with your dad this week about it. Seemed like he was celebrating more where he didn't do it as much in the past. Like he was always there, but it wasn't like he was, spraying the champagne and that kind of stuff. And
I think what it boils down to is it's a kind of this fine line between like you're excited about it, but also that's not the end goal.
Right.
So you're riding this sort of fine line. But I also think at the same time, it might have been Kyle Schwarber who said it. Not every, this isn't like a common thing. They've won it back-to-back years and they've been in the playoffs the last 4 years. But you're supposed to enjoy each one of these things because you're not supposed to take it for granted. Because you never know when something like this could change. So it almost felt like they kind of went in that direction a little bit more this year in a sense of you don't know how much longer this is going to be because, Anthony's been saying it for a while now. This year is kind of like World Series or bust.
Right.
Well, that was my next thing, yeah.
If they don't win, the team's probably going to look fairly different next year. Like you're going to not have a lot of those same guys back again. So I think maybe the guys are just kind of trying to rally to get them to the end.
Yeah. Emily brings up a good point about them winning last year and then collapsing so early in the playoffs. I hate to bring that subject back up, but it's reality. It was there. But back to the celebration, just one quick second, because there's a woman in my house when she was watching the celebration. Now, mind you, she was sleeping and I woke her up.
Right.
And she was in a dead sleep. She goes, "Oh my, Harper without a shirt on?"
Oh my. Yeah.
She noticed that like right away.
Right.
The eye candy was just popping everywhere.
Because that's her boy. You know what I mean? Yeah. He can do no wrong. And now he's giving her a little, a little sexism. Whatever you want to call it, So she woke up right away, So I think they're I don't know. I think they not only do they owe the fans one, I think they owe themselves one. When it comes to this whole winning thing, and I find it interesting, and if I get long-winded, cut me off. Topper put the same team back out there last night, and they won again. You know what I mean? Coming off of the night celebration, you're now down your two shortstops, Turner and Sosa. And you're still winning. So I think the drive is this year, and like Anthony said, it's win or bust, and I think they all know that.
Well, yeah, and I think the same thing. It's this year is the big thing, and I think the main thing that made it even that much more obvious to them was Zach Wheeler going down. As far as how special to them. It could be taken away from you that quickly. So even that much more that you need to enjoy it because nobody expected Zach Wheeler not to be here because of a blood clot, health issues that way. Maybe with a shoulder injury or something like that, something different. But to not to have his life almost could have been taken. Who knows? If things would have gone different.
Can we get him? Can we get him to the bank to throw out a first pitch at the final home season before he has the surgery? How friggin' electric would that be?
Oh yeah.
How friggin' electric would that be?
Yeah, because what do you say that the 23rd or something? 23rd?
Something like that, which is next Tuesday. So it's probably couldn't happen, wouldn't happen, but I just think even if he just showed his face in the owner's box, I just think that would be so cool.
Well,
arm.
What's that?
I'm sure he could throw with his other arm.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Well, either that or even if they could do something where he's at home and he could throw a pitch, to his wife or whatever, at home, and they could record it, that they could throw it on the screen.
Yeah.
Like you said, that would be cool as well because with it being in St. Louis, his surgery, like you said, they wouldn't be able to play Monday, come and do the first pitch on Monday and then go out the
Yeah.
St. Louis for the surgery.
Cool scenario.
Oh yeah.
Just the whole thing.
No one's going to care about the celebration if they win it all. They'll say, "Oh, it's great." If they lose like they did last year, you're going to keep seeing clips of that because they didn't win anything. I mean, they won, but they didn't win what they were supposed to win.
Yeah, so I think like you told me at the beginning of the season and the first month into the season and the second month into the season, it's a long season. It's 162 games.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are. So, it's fun to watch. It really is. It really is. It's fun to watch. John, do you have a follow-up to your early rant, or you want to call it a night on that?
Well, just from last night, we can go with the man. The WNBA is hard to watch. That was brutal. I mean, it was watch. We were there after the signing yesterday at Applebee's, and that was what was on, and with their playoff schedules going, and it was just, it looked like WrestleMania out there. I mean, it was bad, with the women who were just throwing each other around, and I've seen
they get physical.
They do, and it was, you're trying to build the league, and the popularity to the league. You would think you would try to do a little bit better, and they're doing moves, and you see better basketball in the playgrounds.
Better CYO games.
Yeah. And it's sad to say, because you want to see it happen, become better, and we're getting a team here in Philadelphia, in what 2028, 2030, whatever it is. It's just, it's a shame,
Yep.
that league's going down like that.
All right, that was John in this week's rant. I've heard better, but that's okay.
Well, you did, but I mean, it would have been much better if I would have been able to get my whole rant out about the tush push, because I was going, but it was.
Was that your original topic?
Yeah, that was my original topic. Yeah,
got it. Okay, I was wondering what you meant by that, Doug.
Yep.
Yeah, but
all right.
I had it going.
All right. Well,
I might have had to even bleep myself. I was so
let's unleash the Lauren's version of Ask Away. So, what do you got for us there, LA?
So, Anthony, you weren't here last week, so we'll make sure we get your input now. Would you have given the ball back?
Oh, ball. That lady?
Yeah.
I might have done exactly what that guy did. She was very annoying, and I wouldn't want to deal with it after a while, and I'd say, here's the damn ball.
So you would have taken the ball out of your kid's glove?
Nah, not my kid. Someone else's kid, maybe, but not my kid.
Someone else's glove. What is wrong? Okay, I'm sorry I even brought you into this now. Never mind.
No,
go back to sleep.
If he wasn't really into it, didn't care himself, but if he was really into it, then. But that's outrageous. Also, there's no. What's the update on this woman? No information. We can find out everything, but we can't find out who this woman is.
No.
About a million false reports. So she definitely needs someone.
She went black.
Wow.
She went black.
But yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off there, Gar. Keep going, and I'll get back to.
No, it's yours.
Do any of you guys feel the same way too? It kind of seemed weird to me, the way when she came over to him first. I don't know if he was actually really that startled, or like it almost looked like he was faking it, like where he was like, oh, like like the way his expression was when you watched him.
I thought it was weird too, but I do think she genuinely startled him, and then I think she just started yelling in his face.
Right.
But if you watch that whole video, she's not right, but the ball did literally fall right in front of your feet. And if you've ever been out there for something, it's like the Wild West. I get it. But it was right in front of her feet. So in her mind, he stole the ball, which is not totally accurate, but I get where she's coming from. But there's no reason to
go over and then take and demand it back.
If he was an adult by himself, maybe, but what she saw that he gave it to his kid, like that's ridiculous.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Back to my question. There's a fire in your house and you can only pick one item from your collection to take with you. What are you picking?
Holy crap.
What did she say? Do I even want to know?
Not his wife.
Oh.
Like she's in my collection. I don't know. That's a good. Oh man, I don't know. I'd open up the slider and just start throwing everything out.
Okay.
Oh man, that's a serious. Ooh.
Tony, do you have a thought? I know you've got very prized possessions in your collection. You don't have a ton of stuff, but one item. Johnny, do you already have it?
It's tough, like your dad said. You know, that's you always bring out the tough questions. You know, but I would guess I would have to say the Connie Mack Stadium. I got a four row of Connie Mack Stadium seats, I guess.
Okay.
But
what did Mom say again?
I'm not sure. Pulling something off the wall.
Yeah, I heard that part.
Oh,
yeah,
my Phillies Wall of Fame collection.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the baseballs. Yeah, like I mean, it's something.
I mean, I've got John. That's because those seats would go up in. Go up in a minute.
Yeah, it would add more of a fire, and then more things would get lost.
Yeah, I mean, I got a really nice Connie Mack baseball. I mean, I've got old stuff, new stuff. My Stanley Cup signed by all the. I mean, I'd fill up a 20-foot U-Haul truck. Yeah, the fireman might be, like, wait, hold on, I'll get that fire, but let me help myself do a couple things here. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
You got to go with the Mike Trout baseball, Carl.
Oh yeah, that's got a personal note on it, so that would be right there.
Joe Stinger is saying I said one thing.
Right. That's what makes it so hard, Joe. Yeah. We could all say it.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's.
I mean, it's funny. It's funny here because you got Tom, with his Flyers clock signed by the Cup winners. You got Joe with his Flyers books signed by the Flyers Stanley Cup winners. I mean, these are all great choices. I'll leave this. I hope it never happens.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
I hope it never happens.
But
to any of us, because I'd be one pissed off person, because I can tell you right now, the insurance company would not cover, what I'm sitting on. So,
Tony, do you have an answer?
Maybe that Clemente.
You got some great Clemente stuff.
Yeah, maybe the Clemente bobble, because there aren't many of those out there.
What about the watch?
Oh yeah, I got his watch and cup.
What about his dental records?
Dental records, yeah.
Those will be right up in flames.
That Pee Wee Herman inscription, because I can't get one of those again.
That's right, that framed Pee Wee Herman piece.
Yeah, I don't know. That's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check your sprinklers.
You're gonna check your sprinklers. We don't have sprinklers.
John, we got sprinklers? No.
Well, we can get them.
Oh.
Yeah. No, that's definitely that's like you said, Carl. Hopefully, it never happens to anybody that we have to make that decision. But
yeah, I don't care how much insurance you might have. It's not going to cover everything because you're not going to be able to replace it.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah,
that's the sad part.
Yeah, you're never replacing it. I mean, it's the amount of times that you've been collecting it for, in my case, like 45 years. You're not getting all that stuff back. I mean,
is that your prize piece, John? The four row of from Connie Mack?
No, not really. But like, I mean, it's just that just like the Mike Trout ball maybe didn't pop into your head right away. Like it's so hard to think of what all the different things that you do have when you when you have that kind of stuff, that it's just like know, that was just something that popped into my head. I mean, you know, you got, you know, Roy Halladay pieces that you know, you got autographed, and I mean, there are so many different things that you can take it in different ways, and there's no fireproof safe big enough for the
I would need a fireproof safe house.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's there's just so much, and I mean, there's a lot of good things, you know, like you said, you know, Connie Mac baseballs, you know, got a, you know, the couple, you know, one of him as well, and there's a lot of different things that you know that are out there, and you can't think of it all right off the top of your head as well,
right?
Sure.
You know, type of thing.
Sure.
You know, when you ask that question, and that was why the seats kind of popped in my head. That was one of the bigger things, but.
How much do you want for those? Are they for sale? Everything's for sale, right?
Don't you have that at the store? Isn't there seats at the store?
Connie Mac, I sold them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had two. Yeah, I sold them. I just had no more room for seats in my minuscule man cave. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I'd be looking for as many buckets of water as I could.
All right. So this is our last live show here. We will be at Buffalo next Wednesday with the coach, Dick Vermeil. So I think every one of us is looking forward to that.
Oh yeah.
Susan Wells, I would save the Louisville Slugger baseball bat walking cane that I had made for my late father. That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. An autograph by his neighbor, the late Mickey. I loved Mickey Vernon. I love Mickey. Love Mickey Vernon. He had a couple of – remember the story? Were you guys there? Mickey telling us – because I asked him, you know, what his collection consisted of, and he had a couple of Babe Ruth baseballs.
Wow.
Because he had played against Babe back in the day. You know, they were called circa games, you know, where they were like all-star games or whatever, and he had him sign a couple of baseballs. Yeah.
A couple. He had to rub it in.
Yeah, he did. Love Mickey Vernon, though. Oh, great guy. Great guy. Thanks for sharing that story, Susan Wells. That's awesome. That's awesome. But back to Coach Dick Vermeil, Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't know if the restaurant and bar area is big enough. This might be our biggest turnout coming. So I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I'm looking forward to it.
Should be good. Yeah,
absolutely.
Should be really good.
Yeah.
Hope you bring some wine with them.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be sweet? Lauren, let me ask you a question. Are you gonna throw a series of questions at him?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
Just curious.
One of the questions will be.
No one is, off limits.
Okay.
Yeah.
If your vineyard was on fire, which bottle of wine would you take?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have one last bottle, Lauren.
You know, I have an unopened signed bottle myself. So, yeah.
All you have to do is drink it and fill it with coffee grinds, and you'll be good to go. Put the cork back in it, and no harm, no foul. I read that somewhere along the line.
No, Coach told us that.
Is that who told us?
Yeah.
But it's not going to make another bottle of wine.
No, but it fills it back up like that it was.
Oh, I don't care about it being filled. Listen, during COVID, desperate times called for desperate measures. I opened one bottle that I had.
You were drinking everything.
Yeah. I acquired another one, and I haven't touched that one yet. But it's pretty good. I haven't figured out a subtle way to ask Coach. Think you could bring like a case in your car by chance? But maybe I'll get to that before next Wednesday.
Well, hopefully he's watching tonight and to see how we run the show, and you just asked him.
I have no doubt that he's asking. Is that the bat?
Yeah, she sent me. Can you guys see it?
Oh, that's cool.
She sent a photo to our page.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Merry Christmas 2003. Personal message. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Thanks for sharing that with us. Anything else? Closing it out. We're not live next week, other than at Buffalo Wild Wings. So we'll be back. The following Wednesday? So what is that? That lands us in October already.
Yep. I think
My gosh. Yeah. That'll be Wednesday, October 1st.
Yep.
Wow.
I think we got a yard sale at the stadium that weekend. Is that right?
The 4th.
The 4th, we have a yard sale.
Very cool.
It's our stuff and it's Ducky stuff.
Yeah. Ducky was telling me about that.
Ducky Turner collection. All the money goes to Baseball Town charity. Stuff from his own house.
How about that, man? If I could get out there, that would be awesome.
It's probably got a lot of stuff.
Now,
a lot of photos.
Are they going to have an auctioneer for that, or how are they handling that? Do you know?
I
think it's like a flea market.
I think it's
you just buy it.
You just buy it. So just be there early and.
Wow. Wonder if he's got any cool Rocky Calavito stuff.
He's got a lot of stuff. I know that. I don't know what it is, but I know he's got a lot of stuff.
Nice. Give me real quick before we close out. Give me a little background on Ducky, because I don't know much about Ducky. Did he ever play baseball?
Not professionally. I could send you a little documentary we played for his 90th birthday. It was he worked at some point. He later on in his life worked at the Hamburg Broom Works making brooms. But before that, when he was younger, he worked in the city of Reading on Penn, I think off of Penn Street, some type of glass company. But the glass they would make was for like NASA. So he built the glass in the spaceship that was like on the moon or something.
Get the hell out of here.
So he was in the Reading Eagle for that. He was the first he always used to help out at the stadium, but then when they got beer was allowed to be at the stadium, he became the first guy in charge of beer with Joe Bouzis, who used to own the team before Craig. So Joe Bouzis owned the team from the time the Reading Phillies were around, mostly until.
Is Joe still alive?
No, I don't think so. And then until about 1987. And then the first couple of years, Ducky worked with Chuck up until he probably worked till I would say 1995. And then he was on the stadium commission, and he would still hang around and try to bring money to the stadium, because that's, before it was now, and you had to fundraise a little bit more. And he got the bathrooms built, and I'll send you a little documentary on him. It's probably 20 minutes long.
Okay.
It was him working with the unions and talking about how in the day they would get a lot of stuff done. So he's been there. Geez, I don't know, over 50 years at this point.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. He sees me, he comes over and, chats with me like we're best buds.
Yeah, he's a nice man.
He is. Very, very, very. All right, Johnny, you got anything to close out with?
Yeah, well, talking about the October 1st show, that's going to be a big show, because that's when we're going to be announcing the winner for the fantasy baseball October 1st.
Oh, yep. Winner.
The prize is the Greg Lazinski jersey.
Oh.
Duh, Tony.
I saw it there. I know it's the prize.
Yeah, well, because we announced it 2 weeks ago when you weren't here that day, but we had, and it wasn't signed. Obviously, it was right before we announced it, right before Greg was coming that weekend, and so now we're showing it that it is signed and ready for the winner to be gotten.
Mm-hmm.
So present the winner with the 1980 World Series champion inscription.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. We got a busy October, Johnny. How about a couple of Hall of Fame basketball players?
Yes, right in time for the start of the basketball season. You got Dr. J and Allen Iverson. You got the prime time of basketball for the Sixers all covered right there. Yep, goosebumps exactly.
Dr. J in the store. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Looking forward to it.
Yep, Iverson. Everybody loves him, and maybe we'll talk a little bit of practice too while we're here, when he's here. But
maybe I can get him. I can pay him a couple extra bucks to do a crossover on you.
There you go. That won't be too hard because I'll be on the ground real quick. But yeah,
Johnny, get up.
Yep, exactly, exactly. You can still do it, and I'll tell. I might even get to tell my Deuce Staley autograph sign.
I'm sure you will.
Oh, I have no doubt.
We'll compare the two.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Lauren, you good?
Yep.
Anthony, you good? Welcome back, by the way. It's good to have the GM
Thank
back.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good to have the GM back. Hopefully you gonna come out next Wednesday night.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
All right. Good to have you. Good to have you. We'll find something for you to do.
All right.
Yeah.
Not sure what she whispered, but it wasn't friendly. I could tell.
I swear to God, I was part of it.
He gets a little fidgety towards the end of the show.
Joe was Dr. J's trash man when I first started. No way. Wow. You got a Dr. J story, Joe Stinger? You need to share that with us.
Yeah,
you need to share that with us.
Did he leave any good trash when he was out there?
Right?
Right there.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thanks everybody for joining in tonight. Another fun, fast hour and whatever.
17 minutes.
It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter. We look forward to it. So with all that being said, thank you. Continue to follow us. That we're This Fan's View, sponsored by City Distilling.
Yeah.
Thank you, George Youngs. Thank you. Great show. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for all those great photos all year. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, does George get to go on vacation too? Now that he
gets a vacation from my highlighted papers, but I imagine he has other things he does.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. And it'll be good. And just between now and next Wednesday, you might want to try to go and reserve a spot over at Buffalo Wild Wings. Put your name on a chair, and so you can have one.
Stick AI is a 757 kid from Virginia. Help me out. What does 757 mean?
Well, that's probably the area. That's probably the area code.
The area code.
Well, not the area code, but the phone. The
Yeah, that's an area code.
Like 610.
Right.
484. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, I got you.
Yep.
All right.
All the young kid lingo.
Yeah, I even see a couple of baseball players. Who did I see has the area code tattooed on his arm? It might be Max Kepler, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but I think that's a German thing.
Yeah, he's from another country.
Oh, okay. Learn something new every show.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a German abbreviation, for that type of thing.
Famous area code in Virginia. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll have them use that as an inscription on an item.
There you go.
All right. Guys, gals, everybody who joined us, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you're local to Glen Mills, come on out and join us next Wednesday night. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Peace
See you later.
out. Thank you.